In the third part of Sulla Strada con Maria, Father Faccenda talks about knowing Mary in order to love her. And he says that the obvious reason to know Mary is to be able to share her with other people and also in order to have a deeper relationship with Mary as our mother. But he doesn't stop there. He points out that Our Lady helps us to understand the role of Christians in the life of the church, and that it offers a better understanding of who man is, who people are, who we are as human beings, because Mary is the mother not only of Jesus, but she is the mother of each and every one of us. From this knowledge of Mary, we also come to the realization that she, as I've pointed out before, manifests the Blessed Trinity. In manifesting the Blessed Trinity, we're able to contemplate the presence of God while we reflect on the life and the person of the Blessed Mother. So first of all, in her, we find the fullness of the presence of the Father, because union with the Father happens through the will, right? Jesus says this in the scriptures, that who is my brother or my sister but those who do the will of my Father. So the deeper we go in doing the will of God, the more united we are to God. But who does that more than the Blessed Mother? Blessed Mother is the only mere human being that was 100% faithful to God in his words, and therefore she reflects the Father through that union that she has. Of course, we find in her the fullness of the Son. We find in her, she is the first redeemed, that meaning that she was redeemed before her birth, before her baptism, before she was redeemed right at the moment of conception. Mary, as a good mother, knew all the aspects, the human aspects of her Son, the Son of God, and she shared in his mission from the moment of his conception until his ascension into heaven. And she continues to share in that mission of the Son to bring all souls into union with the Father, into union with the Trinity in the paradise. And so, knowing Mary, we begin to know this better, and we begin to share in the mystery of God's mission for us in a more full way. And finally, we find in Mary the presence of the Holy Spirit, because it is through through the power of the Holy Spirit that Our Lady conceived Jesus, and therefore it is through the power of the Holy Spirit that she received all grace. It is through the overshadowing of the Spirit that permeated who she is and what she does that Mary became the Mother of God and the mother of all of us. The relationship that Mary has with the Trinity and the way that we can get to know the Holy Spirit in particular is an image you might have that Father uses is the way that you put iron to fire, and the iron, quote unquote, becomes fire, right? It blazes and turns bright orange and seems as fire, but the reality is that it's staying iron, and without the actual fire on it, when you remove it from that fire, it becomes plain old iron again. So it is with the Blessed Mother, but she remains in the fire of the Holy Spirit, and therefore she continually becomes united to the Holy Trinity through the Holy Spirit, and she becomes as the Holy Spirit, just as iron becomes as fire. And so it is significant for all of us to understand and know Mary, and it's not just, as you can see by these reflections, that it's not just a matter of knowing facts about Mary, but it's about knowing who she is and entering into a meaningful relationship with her in order to have a deeper relationship with the Trinity. Now, Father continues by pointing out that after the Second Vatican Council, many people lost devotion to Mary. And he says that part of that is because there was a lot of ignorance regarding who Our Lady was, but also a false interpretation of devotion to Mary. He takes the time here to let us know and to remind us that true devotion to Mary isn't a matter of saying certain prayers, carrying our rosary. It's not even about consecration to Mary in and of itself, but rather when we're devoted to Mary, we seek to be other Marys, and we seek to do the will of the Father in our journey of faith. It is in order to take Christ with us and in order to let us be transformed by the Holy Spirit. This is devotion. A devotion day by day that allows us to fall deeper in love with God. A devotion day by day that transforms us. A devotion day by day will lead us to arrive at the point where we want to express our devotion in the most complete sense, which Father says is consecration to Mary.